the signs and the posters. Let's make sure that the kids are completely indoctrinated. So when I went through my child's junior high, first thing I noticed when we moved here was instead of having gay agenda posters all over like they did in California, I thought, for once, we don't have to worry. They have all these inspiring, colorful, beautiful posters all over. There's about 35 of them in my son's junior high school. So the other day, this is a new thing for me. I decided, while he's busy in the office, I'm going to go and get a piece of paper and pencil and go around and check all those posters. They sound really good, like it takes a village to raise a child, those kind of things. We can change the world. Out of about 35 posters in that school, only 2, maybe 3, were not from communists, socialists, feminists, gay activists, and the worst kind. I cannot repeat some of the things that these people have done. And Sonia Johnson, ring a bell to some people in the room? Her poster is hanging in Highland, this junior high. Okay? So don't think that, and the moral dimensions that they mention, and democracy, all over the school. So if you know what to look for, you can find it.
So what we're going to do right now, it's important to understand that universities are the seedbed of where these things are taking place. That's all the teachers have to come through there, and the university professors are all integrated in national movements. And so all of these education things are controlled at that level, and then they seep down through the system. What we're going to do real quick, and too many teachers that go through there are told by their professors, and some of you have heard this, all the studies show this is the best way to teach. I see some nodding heads, and I know you're a teacher. I know that's what teachers and parents are told in our school district. And they use that as a way to sort of brush things under the rug. Hey, we're the experts. You just said that you're just a parent, okay? You don't know any better. Let the professional educators handle this, okay? So we're going to share some slides from some of these national figures. They're quotes that you may find disturbing a little bit. Education's goal, Bertrand Russell quoting Feach. Education should aim at destroying free will, so that after pupils are thus schooled, they will be incapable throughout the rest of their lives of thinking or acting otherwise than as their schoolmasters would have wished. Sorry, I know this is after lunch, but I thought it was after long enough.
It brings indigestion.
Outcome-based education. This is the idea. This is Dr. William Colson. I think he's at Harvard. This is the idea where we drop subject matter and we drop Carnegie Unites grading from A to F. And we just let students find their way, keeping them in school until they manifest the politically correct attitudes. You see, one of the effects of self-esteem programs is that you are no longer obliged to tell the truth if you don't feel like it. You don't have to tell the truth, because if the truth you have to tell about your own failure is about your own failure, then your self-esteem will go down, and that is unthinkable.
This next quote about higher order thinking is something that we hear a lot at the Alpine School District, and a lot of times educators bring this up. But I firmly believe that a lot of these educators do not know what they are teaching. They've been indoctrinated too, and I do not blame the teachers. But a student attains higher order thinking when he no longer believes in right or wrong. A large part of what we call good teaching is a teacher's ability to obtain effective objectives by challenging the student's fixed beliefs. Religion, parents' beliefs. A large part of what we call teaching is that the teacher should be able to use education to reorganize a child's thoughts, attitudes, and feelings.
This, if you notice, Benjamin Bloom, how many of you have seen Bloom's taxonomy? Okay, same person.
Every child in America, this is a Harvard law professor in 1973, every child in America entering school at the age of 5 is insane, because he comes to school with certain allegiances to our founding fathers, toward our elected officials, toward his parents, toward a belief in a supernatural being, and toward the sovereignty of this nation as a separate entity. It's up to you as teachers to make all these sick children well by creating the international child of the future.
How many of you have read the Screwtape Letters? A few of you? Have you ever heard of Screwtape Proposes a Toast? This was a separate essay that C.S. Lewis did later, which was a satire on the American education system. I've got it posted on the Utah's Republic website, but you do need to go find this and read it. Screwtape, of course, is a devil, and this is at a celebration. And in this particular celebration, he describes how they are going to move these pervasive devilly ways through the American education system. He says, democracy is the word with which you must lead them by the nose. They should never be allowed to give this word a clear and definable meaning, whether democratic behavior means the behavior that democracies like, or the behavior that will preserve a democracy. For if they did, it could hardly fail to occur to them that these need not be the same. As an English politician remarked not long ago, a democracy does not want great men. Lenin and Marx also knew this. They knew that once you have a democracy, that is the road to socialism. Because once you start taking the things that people have believed and making them democratic, for example, morals. John Goodlad is big on, hey, we need to all have a say. Since there's no God, there are no absolutes, and we're going to cover that in a minute, but it's all part of this democracy leads to socialism, because the vote of the people will naturally tend to say, well, we should all have a vote all the time. Let's see, we're going to switch that. Okay.
So talking about democracy and republic, how do we get from everyone knowing that we live in a republic to the majority of the population thinking that we live in a democracy? Well, a lot of it is through schools. We know from Steve Pratt that we live in a constitutional republic. How many of you heard that we live in a democratic republic? Do you know democracy is never even mentioned in what? The Constitution or the Declaration of Independence? That word's never mentioned. And there's a reason. But anyway, look at how carefully we're talking about the changing of words. Look, constitutional republic to democratic republic. Let's get rid of the republic, keep the democracy. Alpine School District has already put social, because we all like to be social. So social democracy. You are a wonderful group of people, very knowledgeable. You know that democratic socialism is what is going on in a lot of different countries, right? Okay, so can you see how easily the public can be duped after a few years? This is how we get to it. Now, this is a very important topic to me. How to hijack a word. How are these socialists getting to us? We're intelligent. How are they getting to us? You know what they do when they come into Utah and other places, especially Utah? I didn't see this in California. This is something new. They use the words, and this is a good lad thing, uses the word morals and values in democracy, because we all know we live in a democracy. So that's, we're patriotic. Morals and values, we all want to teach morals and values. What's wrong with teaching morals and values? Well, here's the problem. Have you ever heard Bill Ayers talking about how he had a moral job to blow up those buildings? He's unrepentant. These socialists really believe that they're doing a moral thing. The reason I put gay, tolerant, gay, you know how they hijacked that word a long time ago. In California, they hijacked the word tolerant. We know tolerant is, you're nice to people, well, any kind of laws or bills that went through California, if they had the word tolerant on them, tolerance, the Tolerance Act, gay agenda. You know that. It hasn't come to Utah yet. I'm here as a voice of warning. I have been to the future, and I'm here to tell you, if you see the word safe schools, okay, every bill that has to do with the gay agenda in California has the word safe schools. Because if you haven't figured this out, we homophobes, we beat up the gay lesbian crowd. So we have to protect our children. They have to be safe. That's where that word comes from. So I have not seen it here yet, except for about a month ago. I saw a safe school committee.
Oh, it's been here for years.
In Salt Lake City. Has it? I just saw it for the first time. Okay, so critical thinking, it's like that higher order thinking. Yes?
Really fast. Right now, I know in Alpine School District, they're really pushing fully free zone, safe school things, and I'm seeing that lead to the next step.
In Alpine, I haven't even caught on to that.
Alpine School District, American Forest.
Oh, thank you for telling us. We will be on that. Okay,
And they're
so
really pushing that.
it is coming fast because when it starts to come, it just takes over, and then watch for bills. You guys are big into watching that. Watch for that. Okay.